continue our hero's journey, focusing on Act 2 for the adaptations of Percy Jackson movie versus TV show. So let's get started. Act 5, the first threshold. So the first threshold is a point of no return for our hero. This is, once he goes through this, there is no going back. There's no going back to his normal life. Now you can say that his mom being taken into the underworld in both versions could be considered his crossing the threshold. However, in reality, I think the moment in which Percy cannot ignore who he is or who this life is actually done in both versions of the movie and TV show. When Poseidon chooses him as his son, he announces to the world, hey, this is my kid. I think that's definitely a point of no return because it shows his strength and his power. Now in the movie, he becomes known as Poseidon's son from the moment he gets to camp. There is no big reveal, there's nothing. He gets told right away, which kind of sends a not so great threshold. However, we still have the scene from the lake in which he fights Annabeth and then, of course, stands his ground. Now, I didn't like that the movie merged Clarice with Annabeth's character, Clarice being the bully that Percy Jackson has in Camp Half-Blood as the favorite daughter of Ares. However, in the TV show, they don't know who Percy's dad is until he fights Clarice, and he then stands his ground against her, finally giving Poseidon a reason to name him as his son, propelling him to a kind of quest that he cannot deny because he is now the son of Poseidon. It's a more meaningful thing. It is a more kind of like definitive crossing of the threshold. You are now a demigod. It is proven. It is factual. There is no going back. No matter what you do, you cannot go back to your original world. Now, I do like that the TV show has Clarice because she is used as a red herring for the storyline and the possibility of who is the Lightning Thief. I think this is a crucial point into kind of creating the story that is Percy Jackson. Now, after the threshold, it leads us into Act 6, Test, Allies, Enemies. Now, of course, after the no return of being named Poseidon's son, in both versions, Percy Jackson must go on a quest to retrieve the bolts and stop a civil war within the Greek gods for the lightning bolt of Zeus. Now, in the movie, Percy Jackson doesn't get told, oh, you must go on this quest. You know, he is given information that incentivizes the possibility of going on this quest. He wants to save his mom from the underworld, which is his personal goal in all mediums of Percy Jackson. Therefore, he is incentivized to go on this long quest and test his heroism. Now, this is where his allies get shown. Annabeth quickly volunteers for this journey, not really giving Percy an option because she has always wanted to go on a journey or on a quest to prove that she is the fierce warrior that she knows herself to be. Grover, being Percy's oldest and truest friend, he does not want his friend to go into danger by himself and giving him the support he truly needs. Again, not really giving Percy an option to deny Grover to come with him, which is an interesting way that the allies were chosen for him. Now, all three know that they must go to Luke in order to find out how to get back from the underworld, because going to the underworld's the easy part. Getting out is the hard part. And so Luke informs them of the 3 pearls that will allow him to come back from the underworld, where they are located on the map, and it gives a more video game-esque feel. It's the mini games before you get the big bad boss, which is Hades in this scenario. It also puts Luke as a possible ally, and of course his enemies being the monsters that will of course attack him or go after him as he embarks on the real world. However, in the TV show, the journey or quest is quite different. First of all, he is specifically given a quest. This is given to him by the oracles and to his understanding, his own father, that he must retrieve the lightning bolt from Hades, who they suspect to have it due to the fact that Hades has been sending his most loyal monsters after him. So then he is given the opportunity to choose his two companions. Why only two for such a massive amount of journey? I don't know. But they have a kind of standard of two companions to go on a quest with you. Percy chooses Annabeth. Now the reason that he is given to the audience and to Annabeth why he chooses her is a little questionable, and whether you agree on it or not, he chooses Annabeth because she is skilled-minded in battle, she is forward-thinking in strategy, and he does know that if it comes down to succeeding in this quest or living, that she will choose the quest over Percy Jackson. And in choice, he gives the secondary choice to a polar opposite of that reasoning, which is Grover, his most trusted friend, his friend that he knows won't lie to him, even though he did lie to him for several months to a year. Not gonna get into that, but going forward, he knows that he is regaining Percy's trust, therefore he will not lie to him. He will do everything in his power to save his mom, because Grover is the only person that truly understands how important Percy's mom is to Percy. So that's why he chooses two polar opposites companions. That's his reasoning. That's what we get. Take that with what you will. Now we do see Luke and his companionship. As for the reasoning that he does not choose Luke, which has been his loyal friend and companion from the moment he got to Camp Half-Blood, who has been teaching him how to fight, how to defend himself, everything he would need for a journey, and Luke being on the older sides of kids would be a reasonable and understandable choice for a quest as big as not causing civil war within gods. But we are given this reason.
I was afraid. I have a chance to rescue my mom from Hades. I can't let anything stop me. And I'm afraid if it gets in the way of the quest, Annabeth might try to. And you told me you'll always be on her side no matter what, and
it's okay.
Take that with what you will. Percy goes off on his journey. Now, differently to the video game style of the movie, we do have where Percy is just going on a long, kind of country-long journey, similar to that of like Lord of the Rings, which is a more traditional journey of a hero. You know, it's the journey to get to your quest, not the quest itself type of scenario. Very famously done in Greek mythology. It's very popular. It is explained that Percy cannot fly directly to the underworld due to Zeus wanting to kill him and the air being his domain. So don't be unsmart. You know what else you could do though? You could use your father's ability of being the god of the sea and speedboating it from the location where you are, which I believe is like New York or kind of the East Coast area, and going all around under Mexico, whatever path you want to take, all the way to California. Now, you could say, well, that's just a long way around and they were on a time crunch. You could, or, you know, gods exist. Probability of magic. I think it'd be safer to be in a world where your father completely controls the domain versus going on land where monsters want to kill you. Due to the fact that Zeus wants to kill Percy, Percy must travel through bus, train, basically any method of transportation from the East Coast to the West Coast, where LA is the entrance to the underworld. We then see small little test of heroism. We see time and time again where Percy's knowledge of the Greek world or fighting monsters is taken into account. He must use his strength, his wit, anything to kind of become the better version of himself. Again, this aligns very traditionally with most heroes' journey, not just the actual theory of the hero's journey, but the idea that a journey must entail trials and tribulations, in which the TV show does a good job of having a more streamlined trials and tribulations scenario versus the video game version that the movie provides. We also get to see a lot more of who Percy's allies are and who Percy's enemies are, down to even meeting Eris and knowing that they will not be friends. Not gonna happen. But these trials and tribulations actually give all three characters the chance to grow. From Grover discovering that maybe the search for Pan won't be as easy as he had originally idolized, because his dream is to go on search for Pan. Or Annabeth knowing that maybe she may have been the best in the Camp Half-Blood, but this is a whole different ballgame, and to keep Percy alive will be definitely much harder than she anticipated. And knowing that maybe it's okay to let down your guard and care for someone other than Luke and her. And well, technically Thalia, but Thalia's a tree now. So it does give her a more rounded perspective of what is important, and maybe being the hero isn't what's important, it's what you do with your actions. It also gives Percy a chance to become the best version of himself, not losing his mom's empathy and heart, but still showing strength and agility to not be afraid to fight monsters when the time arises, and being quick on your feet, knowing that this was what you were meant to do all along. It's a really great journey of development for all three of our main characters. Act 7, approaching to the Inmost Cave. This is whether or not your character has failed or succeeded, and I believe in both versions, the movie and the TV show, the moment of kind of failure begins in the Lotus Hotel Casino in Las Vegas. This is definitely where both versions of Percy lose a lot of time due to the alluredness of the lotus flower, and noticing the fact that they are not being aware of their surroundings. The lotus flower, of course, puts a spell on them to want to stay there forever, losing a significant amount of time in their journey. This makes it almost impossible for them to finish out their journey due to this stop in both versions of the adaptation. Alright guys, that is the conclusion of the Act 2 hero's journey for Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you like this type of material, as well as hit that notification button so that you don't miss out on Act 3 of our deep dive into the hero's journey for Percy Jackson, the TV show and movie adaptations. See you guys next time, and thank you guys for watching.